The shocking story of child torture in the West Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh. 6-year-old Durga's hands were badly burned and infected. Her right thigh also fractured. Injuries, in fact, all over her body have left her incapable of moving. And this is what a couple who took her from her mother in exchange for just 10,000 rupees reportedly did to the child, all because she wanted to go home. The mother allegedly sold her for just 10,000 rupees because she already had 3 daughters. Now, the police has booked a case under Section 324. The child has been shifted to a private hospital. Well, for more on this story, let's go across. Uma Sudhir joining us. Also, Shanta Sinha, the chairperson of National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, joining us from Delhi. Thank you, Ms. Sinha, for joining us. And in your reaction really to this horrific story, this child was sold for just 10,000 rupees. This couple adopted her, but when she wanted to go home, they tortured her and actually breaking a bone as well.
This is really very horrific, as you say. And they had no business to, first of all, engage her as a worker in the home. It is in violation of the child labor law. And if they have taken some 10,000 rupees, if they've given that in advance, then it means it is a forced labor, and they have to be booked even under the Bonded Labor System Abolition Act, under the JJ Act. At the same time, I think there has to be a look into whether this girl's name was enrolled as a school child. We have to find out whether she was in the list of out-of-school children. I don't know what the how the RT Act is being implemented. You know, now it is a fundamental right. Children, all children enjoy their right to education. There is no way in which a child should be, especially if she is 6 years and above, should be out of school. And it is a violation of Right to Education Act. This violation is it is a state, it is a government that is violating the act, and I think we will have to book charges against the school authorities, against the local authorities, against all those concerned for allowing the child to be out of school. She should in fact have been in school, and these people who have caused such grievous injuries, they should be arrested immediately and tried. We have to see that the police get all kinds of evidence against them and take the case to the logical conclusion. There has to be legal aid given to the child. Normally, there is just a booking of case and we forget it till another case happens. This shall not be like that.
Time and again, these sort of cases come to light, not just in like a rural Andhra Pradesh or something. Even in the capital right here, we find cases of children being used as household help. What really can be done, and is it for people to be more vigilant about these issues?
People will have to be vigilant about these issues. I think the Labour Department has to take action. In other instances, like children working in agriculture, there are no laws. But certainly there is a law to punish employers who engage children as child laborers. And those who employ children as child labor in domestic work are enlightened, are middle classes, are people who are supposed to be having all the knowledge and wisdom in this world. And they exploit children, that they in fact inflict violence on children, and I find that this shows how much loss of morality there is in our own middle class. I think we have to start questioning them. There has to be a social movement, a question of outrage, shock against those who employ children. I see them all the time. When I go to a mall in Delhi, when I go to a hotel in Delhi, there are these young children who are dressed in lovely salwar kameezes as if everything has been given to them. You find these young mothers and fathers taking them along with them to 5-star hotels and to malls and pretending as if this child is doing very well. They do not recognize that there is so much of unfreedom, so much of loss of dignity to the child, and they are not doing any favor for this child. I think it's time that the middle class are punished for what they are doing, and they are breaking the law. They must know about it, and they have to be criminalized. I really think that the middle class has to be taken to task on this issue.
All right, ma'am, but coming back to this particular incident, Uma, what is the latest really? This poor child, Durga, just 6 years old and tortured in this inhumane manner.
Gargi, the child has been shifted to a private hospital. The district collector has reacted saying that the district police chief in fact has booked those criminal cases under section 324 and also under section 307. What Dr. Sinha was also referring to, the fact that there is no monitoring agency really to track children, such young children. They should have been at least a school, if not some other government agency to track and monitor what happens to such children. It is very obvious that Durga's mother, in fact, she lost her husband 3 months back. There is an unconfirmed report that the husband probably died of HIV/AIDS, and that's another reason why the mother was unable to look after this particular child. She has given away her two elder daughters to live in a hostel. This younger one was given away in so-called adoption. That's what the mother understood. But as Dr. Sinha pointed out, she was going to be used as child labor, as domestic labor in that particular house. And because this very frail child, this very young child, was not able to cope, that's the reason why she was tortured so brutally. What is really more shocking, Gargi, is the fact that this child obviously lives in a larger society and nobody really in the neighborhood thought of speaking about it. So even as we talk about right to education, the more basic, much more basic question about the right to safety of such a child, the right to dignity of such a child, those being very blatantly violated. So the larger questions of whether or not a mother like this who cannot look after her children, there is no agency where she can safely leave her children. She doesn't seem to have had such an option. Otherwise, she would have certainly exercised it. Gargi?
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app, fully optimized for retina display, full screen view, faster response time, and Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.